and welcome back to another stream. Rain, hey, how you doing? Free, please keep that in DMs. You're gonna get me suspended. Oh, hey, Jargon. How are Jack and Drew doing? YandereDev, can you just please stop saying creepy stuff in the chat? Can you please stop asking me for topics? It's getting really weird. I'm going to have to ban you. I feel really uncomfortable. Good morning, citizens of Ohio, and welcome back to reality. So I actually let you guys choose who my next Twitter canceled video would be on, and you guys chose YandereDev. Before we get into it, it's important to notice that YandereDev also used to go by the alias Eva Zavan, and his actual name is Alex Muhan, which we will be using because he hates it when people use his actual name. Now, I didn't know much about YandereDev going into this situation, but this is why Twitter canceled YandereDev.
911, 911, the number 2 call is 911.
So there's this girl at my school with really nice breasts. I mean, wow, they are amazing. She just has such an incredible figure and such a beautiful chest. And the best part is she is always wearing low-cut tops that show off her cleavage. Oh, it's heaven. When she's in the room, I can't pay attention to anything else. I always stare at her breasts when she's around, but today she wore a shirt that didn't expose any cleavage at all. It's like she's not even the same person anymore. Do you think she covered up her cleavage because I'm always staring at her breasts? Disgust. Breast cleavage staring. This is something Alex posted back in 2008 from the first time he actually saw a woman in the flesh. Way back in 2005 to 2012, I wrote some fanfiction and posted it here. I generally received a lot of positive feedback on my work. Some of the stories I wrote were erotic in nature and others were dark. Almost all of my stories revolved around characters who were in grave danger or suffering psychologically. Some of my stories involve sexual assault. Have I written dark stories? Yes. Have I written stories with mature themes meant to be read only by adults? Yes. Were people raped or forced into sexual slavery in my stories? Sometimes. Have I written about the psychological trauma that a rape victim goes through? Yes. Are any of these rape scenes in my stories meant to be arousing or titillating? No. I don't trust anyone who writes NSFW fanfiction. I'm gonna be honest. And here's the thing. Writing about kidnapping and raping girls paired with the last screenshot I have of you discovering boobs, yeah, they don't go really well together. You just, either way, smells like a felony waiting to happen. Oops, now everyone knows that I have an emote from a gay black porn server. Okay, is it just me or does this seem like a little bit fetishy? 16 naked anime girls in the shower at YandereDev's house. 16 naked anime girls and 1 SWAT team. Oh my fucking god, the camera just went straight up her ass. It was fucking magical! Oh, God bless you, Japan. God bless you! Half of her panties is missing. I want to make the other half go missing too. Not quite sure why he posts this kind of stuff publicly. You know, being creepy is bad in general, but it's almost like you're being proud of being creepy. I don't want to play as any protagonist that's not wearing a thong. Rusty, dusty, tainted vagina lips. Look at my big old fat titties, dude. Fat old titties. Look at my big old fat titties jiggling. I hope this man never sees boobs again. Zero Suit Samus' character model was changed drastically between Wii U and Ultimate. The difference is extremely obvious. The changes that were made to Samus' character model are a massive downgrade, a disservice to the character, and an insult to her fans. These changes are unwarranted, unreasonable, and indefensible. I have been unable to enjoy Ultimate to the fullest, knowing that my favorite character has been left mutilated and disfigured by Sakurai's team. I have absolutely no idea what possessed Sakurai to make such a drastic decision, but I will not be at peace until his errors have been corrected. Zero Suit Samus deserves better than this. We can save her. Here we have Alex freaking out because Samus was redesigned to have slightly smaller titties. Can we smash like and subscribe for the titty fat that Samus lost? I'd like to submit a post I made from a throwaway account. Here it is in its entirety. So I'm not sure if this is the right time or place, but it's 1 a.m. and this has been keeping me up ever since I learned about it. A friend tipped me off recently that YandereDev is no longer Ivo's a fawn, and knowing what I know about him, I just want this information out there so people can make informed decisions about this person. About 8 years ago, I was 14 and Ivo was 21. I was in 8th grade, finishing up middle school, and loved to hang out at his Vidya Revolution stream after school. I went by the name Sisefs. I was not quiet about my gender, and when he found out I was a girl, he just went nuts in the way internet creepers do. Being 14 and shy as hell in real life, I enjoyed that attention, not realizing how wrong it was. So when he wanted to date me, I went along with it. Now, I want to point something out. Eva knew I was 14. He was well aware for the entirety of our relationship, his justification, and I remember this clearly because it struck out to me as strange, was that he was homeschooled, he had missed out on the experience of dating girls in high school, and this was the perfect opportunity to make up for that. I reminded him that I was in middle school, not high school. He said, same difference. Here's a list of shit that happened at that point. He asked me for nudes, which I took and then provided to him via an image hosting site that's probably long dead by now. He asked me to pose in specific ways for some of them. We sexted over Skype. Worth noting, I think, is that he made excuses not to reciprocate text-based oral. Seriously? He masturbated on webcam to me while I made moaning noises over my mic at his request. I borrowed my friend's webcam to video chat with him. He asked me to strip, but my friend was in the room with me. Instead, when she wasn't looking, I flashed him. I have to say, for legal reasons, this is alleged, but if this is true, this shows Alex is a complete nonce and disgusting person. I really hate the personality type of, oh, I was homeschooled and therefore I get to be creepy. Like, no man, that is a felony. If you're so sad that you missed out on the high school experience or whatever, let me help you out and help you experience the bullying aspect of it. Thank me later. That's as much as I can dredge up from my memory. A lot of this has been repressed and only came up over the past few days as I thought long and hard about it. Our relationship was pretty short-lived affair anyways. Some other things he did, while not illegal or pedophilic, were skeevy as hell. Saw flat-chested girls as deformed, similar to an amputee, dismissed me / brushed me aside whenever I spoke up about something not related to sex, told another girl in chat that he would keep her in a cage and love her, begged me to stay with him, offered to change himself, etc. when I ended things, then when I refused, banned me altogether from his streams and began to spread vitriol about me, lied heavily to cover his own tracks. I'm under the impression that his version of the story is as follows. I was some desperate girl who sent nudes unsolicited to everyone and anyone, and he deleted the disgusting pics and banned me as soon as he learned I was underage. Believe who you want, I'm not here to garner attention or stir up drama, hence the throwaway account. I just want the truth out there. I don't know if I'll even return to this account, but if I do, I'll try and answer any questions this may bring up. And if you'd like proof, I'm sorry, I don't really know how to go about proving any of this. The pictures are long gone, the Skype account is no more, the livestream account is inaccessible. Just know that I have nothing to gain from doing this. I only want people to know, and to an extent, the story is already out there, told by various people from the chat room who witnessed some of this as it happened. But no one knew the full extent of what was going on. Well, now you know, straight from the horse's mouth. Thanks for reading. Wow, are men just deformed women because they don't have boobies? Make it make sense, Alex, you deformed motherfucker. Also, manipulative when she cuts him off. Massive L, let's not do that. I accepted nudes from a minor for months, but I deleted it, I swear. Here's the rhetoric you had the first time. Sisefs was a girl who flirted with me online. I flirted with her back. She seemed cool at first, but it turned out she wasn't cool at all. She did a bunch of bad stuff, like she lied about her age and started a website to give people a place to say bad things about me. And her parents took away her internet privileges because she was taking nude pictures of herself and sending them to people. She sent her nude pictures, and she sent them to like 100 other people too. And somehow, this means Eva Savan requests child porn from minors. And here you are trying to think up another strategic public relations rhetoric with your following. Before I get into the context of this screenshot, I just want to point out that actually said pubic relations and not public relations. So basically, this is his story about the girl that was being referred to in the last two screenshots we talked about. Man spinning the narrative so fast he's finally hit G-force. Hey, I just realized something. The second allegation is that I am a child solicitor and sex offender. These accusations are almost too silly to dignify with response, but I'll respond nonetheless. About 6 years ago, I knew a young woman who did a lot of inappropriate things in order to get people to pay attention to her. One of the things she did was send nude pictures of herself to lots of people. I was one of the people who she sent nude pictures to. Months later, I learned that she was actually too young to be doing that sort of thing. I deleted her pictures immediately, of course. To be perfectly clear, the pictures were unsolicited. I don't go around asking kids to send me nude pics. I never said her age. I never actually said she was underage or under 18. Man, you sound very defensive for somebody who claims not to be a nonce. If you were actually not a nonce, you wouldn't have to work so hard to defend yourself, and you could just, provide evidence to this instead of just hiding behind a ever-changing story. But, alright. Clearly stating she is underage, but attempted to come up with a different publicity front end of, I only said young girl, I didn't say she was underage. I can try and get away with this. You jump between saying 5, 6, 7 years ago. Regardless, the whole situation is aged like spoiled milk, but it hints as to what kind of person you are, especially in the context of you making a game that is exclusively about underage girls and sexualizing aspects of them, like using panty shots as currency, or other darker topics such as your vision of murder and rape and suicide and sexual abuse in the context of underage boys and girls within high school. And such is why I felt that the roots of your past behavior are still there, which is what led to my leave those months ago. I do want to say that this whole post thread was made by an ex-volunteer who was working on the Yandere simulator project. Yeah, I don't know how you can be like, oh yeah, this dude is so innocent when his entire life's work project or whatever is a romance sex fantasy game about high school girls. So does that not put red flags in your brain? I didn't want to complete your vision, and this was your rhetoric. Probably the only time you were somewhat transparent with me as to who I was working alongside with. The GUI artist I'm working with is the same man who suggested female students should be able to wear thong uniforms. The musician I'm working with spends hours in my stream every day, and he makes even more lewd comments about female characters than I do. The voice actress I'm working with has extremely lewd voices in her demo reel. The 2D artist I'm working with regularly draws women in extremely lewd outfits. The 3D character modeler I'm working with enjoys modeling sexy young women very much. I'm a perverted sexual deviant, and I absolutely love to perv on sexy video game girls and anime girls. That's a core part of who I am, and I'll openly, publicly, and eagerly state that fact, absolutely everywhere. If lewd, sexual, perverted content and comments offend you, and you'd rather not be associated with that kind of project, I completely understand. And I can't hold a grudge against you for that. It simply means that I need to seek out team members who aren't bothered by that type of content or those type of remarks. I've already found 5 other perverts, now I just need to find one who can model props and environments. He literally admits that not only is the game NSFW, but so is the workspace, and basically completely dismisses sexual harassment in the workplace. He's just, if you have an issue with being sexually harassed at work, you leave it. It's your fault. It's your problem. You're just being sensitive. By the way, I'm not going to work on that Yandere game anymore. The game is taking on a really weird direction than first anticipated, and after finding out a lot of information about the guy, I don't feel comfortable with making his visions for this game a reality. It seems like some kind of perverted spin on the game hatred to me now. Don't go considering this post a call out either, but I don't really want to be associated with this project anymore. Others have informed me of the kind of person he is over time, and my own personal observation was proving to be nothing new compared to the past behavior from what I was told. Another volunteer that was working on Yandere Simulator had this to say. I pointed out that there were many people under the age of 18 who have had sexual experiences without being traumatized. I pointed out that some people aren't ready for sex even after 18. All human beings are different from one another. Thus, one age of consent will not work for all humans. I attempted to propose the idea of finding another way to determine whether or not someone is ready for sex, such as passing a test that grants a sex license. Regrettably, these concepts were simply too complex for poor N to grasp, intent on forcing me to answer a question that would allow her to brand me as a pedophile. She demanded to know if I would permit a 14-year-old to have sex with a grown man if the 14-year-old had the sex license test that I had proposed. Well, obviously, if there's a test that objectively proves that a person is ready for sex, and a person passes that test, then that person is objectively ready for sex. This is simple logic, but N lacked the mental capacity to figure this out herself. This is a very disturbing idea of a sex license that Alex posted. Not only is he obsessed with sex, but arguing against the age of consent, which I find incredibly disturbing. Turns out YandereDev based Yandere-chan off of his dream girlfriend, and it's pretty dark. So this is really creepy. You really need to learn how to find happiness from yourself and not others, or the comfort of a relationship. What would be the point in that? I don't just want to be loved. I want to be a vital, central part of a girl's life. I want to be an important, essential person to a girl. I want this girl to be my equal, but I also want her to adore me. Why bother being with someone who is already complete and happy with who they are? Then you would only be an accessory to their life. If someone is complete and content, they need no love. Love is for people who need to be complete. I want to be loved, but I don't just want to be loved. I want to be a vital, central part of a girl's life. I want to be the most important, essential person to a girl. I want that girl to be my equal, but I also want her to adore me and love me more than life itself. I want a girl who is clingy and hanging all over me 24/7. I want a girl who loves me so much that she obsesses over me all the time. I want a girl who cares about me and wants me so badly she would stalk me. Where can I find a girl like that? P.S. I would return all of her love and affection and attention and treat her like the most precious and valuable person in existence. You come off as kind of obsessive. Could be what turned her off for you. I swear to God, half of me thinks you're going to turn out a rapist. You just need to relax. If girls' attitude towards me means that I'll eventually become a rapist, doesn't that mean girls should be nicer to me? You can see once again that his obsession for women is genuinely concerning. He's also saying, basically, be nice to me or I might rape you, which... what the fuck? Oh yes, Samus, kiss, kiss, kiss. I love you so much. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Give me the sugar, baby. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Jabra, leave Samus out of this. She's trying to vibe. There are 2 ranks here. YandereDev, YandereDev's beloved fuck kittens. There are only 2 ranks here. Disturbed nonce and brainwashed minors. The actual drama started a while ago, but I don't feel like talking about that. If you are aware that your project is having so many destructive consequences on another person's life, how can you possibly continue? Don't you see how harmful and damaging this is for me? If the cost of Yandere Simulator was ending a person's life, I canceled development. You maybe, don't bait suicide when people criticize you? Just a thought. We are all aware you would never off yourself because you can't jerk off when you're dead. Hey man, I'm not particularly a fan of your game, just isn't my thing, but I saw your recent tweet and I wanted to ask, are you okay? Please tell me if you're okay. If not, please know that suicide is never the answer. My life will only get worse from here on out. There is no reason to keep going. No, it won't. If it feels like this is the lowest point, then that's exactly what it is, the lowest point. And do you know what that means? Things will get better. I'm no professional, but please, I'm begging you, take a break from the internet. Take a break from your game, call a suicide prevention hotline if you need to. Please, that is all I ask. Bro, why you gotta bait suicide to random fans and people like this? Because honestly, that would be so traumatic for them. Please say this shit to your therapist and not your stans. YandereDev tried to get people who made substantially better games than him in shorter amounts of time to delete all their hard work. What a great man! Alex gives me the impression of somebody who was bullied as a child and has been overcompensating since. When he became moderately successful on YouTube, he became narcissistic because he had finally received some positive attention. However, he lives in a constant state of paranoia that his life will go back to what it was, and is therefore intimidated by up-and-coming creators who are more talented than he is. Yes, I'm still talking about YandereDev, but if you didn't think I was, well, I took people's suggestions. That doesn't mean I'm incompetent or bad at anything. I don't know what to tell you. It's like I'm speaking to people who come from 2 completely different realities. In one reality, WNM is a sham. In the other reality, WNM is a genuine attempt at a game. What I do know is that people feel justified in attacking me or lose faith in me or withdraw financial support from me because they believe that WNM is proof that I could be doing my job faster. But from what I hear, WNM is held together with bubblegum and band-aids, and you've even had to reboot development from scratch. So if I made a video saying, guys, I don't have enough income, and the response is, you don't deserve income, WNM is proof, and I have to follow up by explaining WNM is an example of a well-developed game, and it would suck ass to have to do that since I hate drama and discussing other games. So if you came clean to your audience, then there wouldn't have to be an ugly, messy situation for me to deal with. Tough talk coming from someone who doesn't know how to code anything except for if-then statements. Also, by the way, this is pretty much just him threatening to cause shit for another game developer, because God forbid he make a similar game and do a better job because, they actually know how to code. The irony isn't lost in me. It's possible that I have an entirely incorrect understanding of the situation. Maybe the volunteers and ex-volunteers I spoke to were exaggerating or mistaken, but I've been told that X is 2, which is why I've drawn to the conclusion that X plus X equals 4. Maybe I've been misinformed about X. What I do know is when people attack me, mistreat me, abuse me, and harass me, their justification is Watashi no Mono. You're working on a project that negatively impacts my well-being. And when I ask, can you please tell people in your YouTube comments not to be shitty towards me, you won't even agree to do something that simple, that basic, that humane. You're literally asking someone else to take down their hard work to better your hard work. That's not basic and humane. Hey, guess what? If that's the case, then Target negatively impacts Walmart's well-being, and Burger King negatively impacts McDonald's well-being. Actually, the funny thing is, a healthy dose of competition is actually good. You would probably know that if you'd studied basic economics, but you're probably too busy jerking off to hentai. The AOI model comes with 80 animations, but Yandere Simulator has about 400 animations. You can obviously use any animation that you purchase from the Unity Asset Store, but I can't give you any authorization to use the animations that were created specifically for Yandere Sim. I know, we have animators creating original animations for us. A lot of people came out surprisingly and wanted help. It's very generous. Those are all people who probably would have offered help me if my reputation hasn't been tarnished by clickbait YouTubers spreading false narratives and untrue accusations about me. The help you're getting is what was taken away from me. Apparently, if someone in your foggy-ass brain was going to help you in the future, but didn't because they hate you, then nobody else is allowed to work with them? Is that how this works? I don't understand. Never thought I'd say this, but I'm pretty sure a 14-year-old furry artist who traces art on Instagram has more critical thinking skills than you. My waifu. Do what you want, but if you have a sex doll, I'm gonna assume something's a little bit off in your brain. And to base a character off a sex doll, oh god, that's so weird. Alexy Wallexy, were you dropped on your head as a baby? Bunch of things I don't feel like reading. Damn, seems like our criticisms are really getting to him. Smash like and subscribe to make YandereDev cry. No, I never threatened suicide or any of the other weird stuff that people are saying. You've been manipulated into believing false narratives and untrue accusations. Thought experiment. Imagine that someone successfully convinces the entire world that you deserve to be treated like shit. As a result, you are harassed by dozens of people every hour of the day for several years with no end in sight. When will you decide to commit suicide? As someone who's had actual friends off themselves, this is not how they act. Alex, people like you are why my empathy is so low sometimes. And it's people like you that are why actually suicidal people slip through the cracks. YandereDev threatened to commit suicide to pressure a game developer into canceling his game project. In short, no I didn't. Someone extracted Yandere Simulator's assets and used those assets to develop a fan game containing a fraction of the functionality of Yandere Simulator. They created an announcement trailer showing off all they had done. The announcement trailer gave hundreds of thousands of people the false impression that it was possible to recreate the entirety of Yandere Simulator in only 2 weeks. The developer received a massive amount of attention and praise, and I began to receive a massive amount of harassment because hundreds of thousands of people were tricked into believing that it's possible to recreate Yandere Sim within 2 weeks. My work was completely devalued, and I started to lose all the support I had spent 6 years building up. If it was truly a fan project and the developer is truly a fan of Yandere Simulator, then he would acknowledge the damage he was doing to me and my project, and he would cancel his own project to avoid threatening Yandere Simulator's existence. I reached out to him to discuss this. During this discussion, I expressed my feelings honestly. I told him that I felt his actions were ruining my life, destroying my life, ending my life, etc. He posted screenshots of the discussion. People use these screenshots to create the false narrative that I contacted him to threaten suicide, even though I never actually said that. What the fuck? In short, yes you did. How is ending your life not suicide? The more you know. Okay, but what about buying the subreddit? I use my personal savings for that, not the Patreon money. So basically, he bought r/Yandere Simulator to just completely delete all criticism so that people didn't have a good place to go and shit talk him. Here you can see the extent of his censorship. So, I've been caught by MidoriBot for apparently being in a hate server. I am unsure how I was even spotted unless a moderator or the bot itself is stalking others or searching through accounts, breaking some sort of privacy terms. What the hell? Hey, I found you in a hate server. I recommend leaving it as you are violating one of the YS rules. Or you may get banned. You have 24 hours before I ban you. I can't see DMs, so there's no point in replying. This is clearly against Discord privacy laws. I feel like the most ethical thing to do is to hand it over to me for free, since DPG/Maddie ran it into the ground with poor management, and there's no real reason why I should have to pay money to take over for someone else's piss-poor administration job. However, if paying money is the only way to get my hands on it, then I need to hear an offer. I am no longer willing to pay $10K. I wanted to pay $10K to avert disaster, and now that that disaster has already happened, the price of the subreddit has dropped considerably. Before he tried buying the subreddit, he wanted to get it for free, basically. Entitled much? Please remove my name from your disgusting ripoff game. I do not want my name anywhere near your stupid game. My game is the original and superior Yandere game. You're probably doing this to troll people like new YandereDev and those Kiwi farm cucks. I hope you die. Remove any mention of me or my name from your game and don't speak of me. He's literally telling his fans to die. I thought Aiden Gallagher was shitty to his fans, but damn.
I only want to see a single picture of your boob. Queen, let me suck on those toes. OnlyFans? Please pee on me, I will pay. Pee on me, please. Can I see your feet? Show me your toes, please, mama, show toes. Show toes.
Yandere Simulator Development Roadmap. Yandere Simulator has been in development for 6 years, however is still only on the first step. Now why is this? Alex is a shitty ass coder, and he doesn't know how to do things, and so he doesn't include others because their codes wouldn't mesh well because they use a competent level of coding and he doesn't understand their code. For a long time, I was extremely reluctant to consider the possibility of bringing another programmer on board the project. I didn't want to risk losing weeks or months of my time teaching someone how the systems work, how to modify various aspects of the game, where important files are located, etc. I didn't want to risk the programmer modifying my code in ways that make it alien and foreign to me, impeding my ability to make progress on the game. I didn't want to risk losing time waiting for a programmer to fix a bug he had caused. I didn't want to risk being forced into a situation where I'm reliant on the assistance of someone whose personality is difficult to tolerate. I didn't want to risk all of the annoying headaches that come from working alongside a programmer instead of just working solo. Alex can't code and uses very basic codes, and he would rather continue to do this than actually learn the codes that most people use and therefore be able to collaborate with others. So you go around shit-talking people that you think didn't appreciate your work enough? What an incredible, mature behavior. Not even the issue. I can handle constructive criticism. I love constructive criticism. In fact, if anything was the problem, he wasn't giving me enough info and not enough constructive criticism, which I understand why now. He didn't model anything in the build. He's not an art director or even a level designer. What sent me over the edge is that he can't even place an asset and put collision on it without complaining that it was a waste of his time with an unsatisfactory asset. If he didn't like my work, he shouldn't have led me on in the first place. Just a simple, sorry, I don't think your skills are where they need to be for this project. Some of the issues were my assumptions, but those assumptions are why I wanted to work on the project in the first place. I don't consider this shit talking, I consider this reflecting. It wasn't so much of an issue of him not appreciating my work enough, it's his insecurity, inflated ego, and lack of ability to be constructive and progressive. All of which I was willing to work with, but then he invaded my privacy with an immature, "Is this guy you?" Heard he didn't have nice things to say about me, and the rest is history. Not only can he not take criticism, but apparently he can't give it either, because he can't criticize code he doesn't understand. I have a question. How long did you learn coding? Was it from working in a company, tutorials, school? I learned the basics by messing around in free programs like GameMaker. I turned it into a skill while working in a company. No offense, but you can't properly learn how to code with just free programs. As someone who's taken a tiny bit, and I mean a tiny bit, of computer science at a university, even I can tell you that you can't do all of that stuff for free. If you actually took the time to learn how to code correctly, Yandere Simulator wouldn't still be in the first stage of development. It might actually even be finished. The only reason why Lovesick gained any traction whatsoever is because the people developed the false perception that Dr. Apis recreated the entirety of Yandere Simulator in only 2 weeks. This is completely false belief, as Lovesick does not even possess 5% of Yandere Simulator's functionality. The only reason why the announcement video looked presentable at all is because they were using assets from Yandere Simulator. Not the character models, but the buildings, etc. The unauthorized use of my assets is the only reason why the game looks comparable to Yandere Simulator, because hundreds of thousands of people were tricked into believing that it's possible. Lovesick is a similar game to Yandere Simulator, except it's a better game and it's not created by Nazis. It's progressing more quickly because the people on the team are actually competent coders that are working together and actually understand the code. How long does it take to make a video game? He deletes any negative comments, and this video has 800,000 views, and that should have at least more than 1,000 comments. I have a video with like 30,000 views that I believe has around a few hundred or a few thousand comments, because I don't delete comments, and he only has positive comments. Now, any YouTube channel, even if you have like 15 subscribers, is going to have at least one hate comment per video, because that's just how YouTube works, so obviously he's deleting comments here. Because, well, I'm one of old Yandere Simulators fans from 2014, and my friend who was in the same boat got banned for one word. Not really a fan if you're giving bold criticism. Criticism is how a game improves. I don't agree with that. He blatantly admits here that he doesn't agree with criticism. God fucking damn it! He doesn't believe in criticism, and he doesn't think criticism helps people or games improve. As a commentary channel, I obviously disagree with this. I think it's really problematic for anyone to have this attitude. However, I think it's especially problematic for a game developer or a YouTuber to have this attitude. Criticism is one of the most important steps in creating anything. That's why if you look at any scholarly articles or, scientific journals, they all say peer-reviewed, as in critiqued, criticized, fixed, sorted. You can't just submit something original and not have it critiqued and put it into a scientific journal. And there's a reason for that. A lot of people have been asking for a Yuri option, presumably because they are either Yuri fetishists or because they are dudes who don't want to go spend their time stalking a dude. When I was playtesting the game, stalking Senpai and snapping pictures of him, I felt a little uncomfortable. I thought to myself, I feel gross stalking a dude. That feels a little bit gay. I can't relate to this experience. If I was a girl, I would feel more comfortable. The idea of stalking a dude / winning a dude's love might be gross to a lot of male gamers. I'm heavily considering the possibility of allowing the player to choose Yandere-chan's sexual preference at the beginning of the game. I've considered all of the changes that would need to be made to accommodate this kind of feature, and I definitely think it's realistic to plan a Yuri option. This isn't an attempt to make the game more tolerant or inclusive or SJW friendly. This is because I personally feel uncomfortable stalking a guy, and I can see how appealing a Yuri option would be. Interestingly, making Yandere-chan a lesbian would automatically turn every girl in the school bisexual. So, he makes Yandere-chan bi, not for inclusivity, but somehow to maintain being homophobic. It's actually almost impressive how socially unaware he is. Also, he's uncomfortable stalking a dude, but completely okay stalking a girl. I think that says all it needs to say. Really breaks my heart when you play this game, because you're giving attention and exposure to someone who's ripping off my creation purely because he wants to make money. He's literally saying that it hurts his mental health that somebody made a similar game. Like, do you not understand how literally any industry works? Competition it's a thing that exists. There's more than one of products. Monopolies they're not a thing. Well, legally they're not. No, you can fuck right off. You've got absolutely no clue what you're talking about, you fucking dumbass. If something is an obstacle to development, I'm going to eliminate the obstacle. The mod was presenting obstacles for me in the form of worthless bug reports, so I cockblocked it. Go stick your dick in a beehive if you have a problem with this decision, you dumb fuck. He also treats his fans like absolute garbage, which is not poggers. Hey YandereDev, could I speak with you? I just have some advice for what you should do. I'm not a hater, I actually really support your work. If you didn't know, I'm XXYD-chan from your streams. I don't use Twitch that often, but I'll come every once in a while to watch you. Okay. Make another video, something easy, like just talking with text captioning what you're saying. Your recent defense was way too vague. That video should include your detailed defense on arguments people have against you, such as YandereDev hates his fans, YandereDev isn't working on his game, he streams too much, etc. Apologize. Say sorry for things that may be your fault, or may not be. Try your best not to do it again. Try your best not to let your bad mood control you. Don't ban everyone at first sight. Warn them. Be cautious over yourself and what you do. Then finally, explain that you'll be more willing to accept criticism and or advice on your main or alternate email account. Maybe make an alternate account to check every month for emails you deem unimportant. Sorry it took so long. I was in a game. The purpose of the recent video was to find out if anyone even cares about all the things you mentioned. If the poll results show that 99% of people don't care at all, then I won't make a defense video. So you're saying that most of your fans cared about the drama, and that's why you made the video? As I said above, the purpose of the video was to find out how many fans cared about the drama. What you're saying is you made a video completely for attention without addressing any of the criticism or valid points people have, purely for monetary gain? At least Shane Dawson tried to defend himself. You're just blatantly farming ad revenue. If that person ever gets kicked from the server, I'd consider returning, but not as long as their presence is plaguing it. GU doesn't hate you. He's the type of person that speaks his mind, and he is quite dramatic. He is really trying to apologize to you, but you have him blocked. Please unblock him and hear him out. The mods aren't kicking without proof of rule breaking. Screenshots would be nice, rather than just saying they are an asshole. From what I have seen, you don't like Devilish Angel, Davis Bird, or GU Psycho. I'm not a mod, so if you have evidence, please contact DPG. I think the world would be a better place if GU died. I will never return to a server as long as GU is there. The context of this is basically that Alex was in a fan server for YandereDev, and he left it because he found one of his fans annoying or whatever, and basically told that fan he deserved to die. Now, I may not be a stan or idolize people, but imagine the person that you idolize and look up to telling you the world would be a better place if you were dead, and how damaging that would be, especially since most of his fans are kids. Some people are just too fucking annoying to keep around. I don't want to look over at the Discord chat and think, oh, a bunch of fucking obnoxious little children. Why the fuck would I want an environment like that? It was such a mistake for YandereDev fan to have linked here. I have to ban another little kid every 5 seconds. Okay, but they're your fans. You would be absolutely nothing without them. You know, it's not that difficult to treat your fans well. They pay your rent, so I don't understand why you're so angsty at them. If you don't like someone, you can literally just not associate with them, especially if you're a big celebrity. It's pretty easy to ignore people because you can just give the excuse of, I was busy. I refuse to be in a server where I have to deal with people who I consider to be closer to cockroaches than human beings. Can't you just ignore the toxicity? Pointing it out isn't going to solve anything. Okay, see, that's what I was talking about. You know I won't screenshot that and send it, but what if I did? It will ruin your reputation. You shouldn't be saying things like that, even if you think that way. You really think it's such a bad thing to say? Yes, because some people can feel really offended when they hear it coming from someone they idolize, because the people who were discussing the delay idolize you. Well, wow, guess they shouldn't have been so cockroach-like then. Don't want to be called a thief? Don't steal. Don't want your idol to regard you as trash? Don't be trash. They weren't trying to be trash, they were joking around. Don't want someone to abandon a Discord server? Moderate it reasonably. I'm thinking specifically of one individual, really. They were joking about the delays so that the mood would lighten up, because people were getting really sick of waiting. Again, whining about his fans. You know, they pay your rent. You literally do not have the room to be complaining about people who pay your rent. You're gonna not have money, my dude. Thank you, or else you'll be associated with them and banned along with them. Sorry if I sounded rude. Won't happen again. Thanks for unbanning me, though I appreciate it. I'm banned again? I'm not sure, but I think it was a mod who thinks I was a raider since I was banned earlier. This time, it's permanent. He just bans his fans because he doesn't like them with no reason? Dude, they pay your rent. Just tolerate them. I'm wondering when I was banned. You mentioned I might be a troll, but I've been watching the Yandere sim progress for a while, and I've been a fan of yours. I'm sorry if I said something rude in chat, but I don't think so. I'd appreciate it if you told me what I did wrong and maybe unban me. Your general manner of speaking was annoying. It's difficult to put into words. It's partially the emotes you use. It gives your message a certain obnoxious flavor. I still don't understand how that warrants a ban, because I use emotes, and even if you think a fan is being annoying, why does that mean you should block them? I didn't make a stream so that I could look over the chat room and feel annoyed. I made a stream so I could have fun and enjoy the company of cool people. If someone's being obnoxious or annoying and strikes me as a troll, why keep them around? I could unban you, but there's no guarantee you'd stand banned. He is literally telling a fan he banned them for being annoying. Does he have no empathy? The whole point of Twitch is to stream and have fun with chat. If you don't like chat, just go do the shit on your own and don't stream. It's not that hard.
But like, as long as somebody is in your party. You're a fucking retard, sold out. Go fucking kill yourself, dumb shit. You're a fucking idiot. When you're playing a story game, you gotta pay attention to the story, dumb shit. Eat shit and die, fuckhead.
He's telling another fan to off themselves. This just seems to be a hobby of his. Are you considering doing something to Musume's hair to make her fit more in with the group? Other girls in her group have more colorful hair. It's my lowest possible priority right now. Who the fuck cares, and why the fuck do people always bug me about this fucking shit? Just fuck off already, are the only thoughts that come to mind. Oh, sorry to bother you. A fan asks a simple question, as fans do, and he's just rude for no reason.
Then I go.
Oh my god, YandereDev completely ripped off the Yasogami layout. This shit gets funnier and funnier. My man's out here stealing art too. Is there anything he hasn't done wrong? Remember when YandereDev mocked art from his fans? Turns out, the one he showcased in his video was artwork he stole from an 11-year-old. The artwork had nothing to do with Yandere Simulator. Not only did he mock his fans' art, but he decided to steal it for a video? Alexa, this is so sad. Play How Bad Can I Be by the Lorax. YandereDev lost character models like this for his game because he would rather not credit the volunteer than use these assets. Literally not exaggerating. I don't know why people struggle so much to credit artists. They work so hard on the shit they make, and you just want to claim it as your own. Basically what you are is a thief. It's just a silhouette. Anyone freaking out about what it is being a baby. If I remove all the color and the line work from an image, then it's not the artist's original work anymore. It can't count as stealing or using without credit if it's no longer the original work because of a significant amount of changes to the image. So it's okay to steal art if you edit it. Usually when you edit something, you still credit the original person, but... Okay. So our dear Eva boy apparently likes to steal even grass pattern. This is some screenshots of the game where we see the pattern. And this is Doug Clayton's work. First I wanted to post this on his Reddit, but thought maybe he asked the permission to the artist this time. Instead, I directly contacted Doug Clayton and told him what was going on. This was his answer. Please immediately remove my work, as I would like nothing to do with this project, and it is a copyright infringement violation to use my work without my permission. Even though he thought I was the one stealing his work, I misspoke. I guess I clarified it when I replied back. Still mean Eva stole the grass pattern. I gave him Eva's email address, so we'll see what happens next. Not only is he using art without credit or consent, but artists who are literally telling him not to use their art, he still uses their art. Now, obviously Alex steals a ton, right? So, wouldn't it be ironic if Alex falsely copy strike videos about him that actually followed fair use policy? Oh wait! He did do that, didn't he? Your video has been taken down. He's out here copy striking people who make him look bad, Susie Lou looking ass. F's in the chat if he strikes this video, fellas. False copyright claiming is legal. I suggest you take that strike off so you don't make yourself look worse than you do already. If you re-upload someone else's content, you're violating copyright laws. I deleted every video that includes you from my knowledge, unless the chats mentioned it or it was unavoidable. Are you happy with that? If you modify content, for example, commentary, it's no longer your content because it's under fair use. It's protected by fair use.
I would love to smell your toes. Awooga. Please, queen, show me your toes. I am in the hospital right now. I have 2 days to live. My last wish is to see your toes. Can I have your used socks? I'm willing to pay large sums of money. Can I buy your bathwater, please, especially if you pee in it? I love your YouTube because you are a woman. Do you have OnlyFans? I want to subscribe.
That is enough nonsense. Did a good job of explaining why Twitter canceled YandereDev. I did not expect it to be like an hour long, but here we are. For more why Twitter canceled videos, feel free to check out the playlist. It's literally just called Why Twitter Canceled on my channel. I spent a lot of time on this video, and I'm gonna be honest, I just lost my voice filming this. So any support would be greatly appreciated. As always, leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, subscribe with notifications on. I will catch you on the flip side.